League on EA Sports. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. On second down, Johnson gets around him, and he's got room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Rosen to throw. And able to find Kirk, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Play number 8 here on the opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play number 8 here on the opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Back to throw, Keenum looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried? You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Rosa. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Keenum. And he's got Hireman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Keenum now on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Keenum. He's going to look deep down the field. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Devontae Booker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Play action here with Rosen. And completes it to Cook over the middle. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield. 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They pitch it out to Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know some of these coaches, they're extremely unpredictable, and they may go ahead and press it.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. Keenum on 1st down. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Play action. It's Keenum. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Robert Kimdichie. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Down.
A shotgun snap for Keenum. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now a handoff. Johnson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Christian Kirk with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Keenum now on first down. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Keenum going to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. The final shot before half for Keenum. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now Jones. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. And so Demaryius Thomas, the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. They go to Johnson again. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And now it's Rosen looking, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Jones. return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Very left, very left. Roger, roger, roger. Very left, very left. Roger.
On first down, Keenum. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. On first and 10, here's Keenum. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Freeman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Down, down, down. No. All right. Go, doctor, doctor. Doctor.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And now they'll throw with Keenum. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hey, 52. Yeah, we're good.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Royce Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
They'll try and run with Freeman. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. Here's Rosen to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football, and at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
After the interception, here's Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down is Keenum. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Booker on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
On second down, Freeman. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll run it. Freeman fights, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And now the Broncos are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run it in, but he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Fitzgerald's got it right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Rosen to throw again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They go play action. It's Rosen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Josh Rosen, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals will extend their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Keenum now on 1st down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. On 1st down, Keenum. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The busy night continues for Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
After the interception, here's Rosen. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
On play action, Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. The 40. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Cardinals. 57 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit!
A toss, left side, Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
the pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Now we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And he's going to have the hook up with Sutton. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. He's back to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They try the left side with Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Arizona, it's a win that was long overdue as they move to 1-6 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.